Hi, Indra Gardiner here. I'm very excited because today we've had Paul Leinberger in our office talking about consumer behaviors, trends, values, and social networking. Don't we love that? So here we have Mr. Leinberger, who is the Senior Vice President and West Coast Director for the Futures Company. And what we wanted to ask you about today was where you see the shift in the next 6 to 12 months happening. What are the things that marketers need to be looking out for?
Well, Indra, as we talked about, we're in the beginning of a recovery, but it's going to be a slow recovery. So we can't expect the world to look like it was 3 years ago before this recession started. It's also the case, and this is probably the most important part, that the world that we remembered back in 2006, 2007, it's never coming back. Never coming back. And there's a new definition of value. And that new definition of value has 5 different elements to it. Think of it, and I think you can remember this term, RSVP plus M.
Okay.
So value equals R, responsibility. It means I want to be responsible for my decisions. I want to come away from making decisions feeling like, gee, I've been a responsible consumer. The S stands for smart. I want to come away from that decision being able to say to myself and to you and to my family and to my friends, the people that I care about, that I've made a smart decision. I've been very selective. The S is also selective. I've looked at more than I ever have before, using the internet, of course, to look at all the different possibilities, and I decide to buy this one because it makes me feel like I'm smart. So that's the S. V is vigilance. I'm not going to go back to the way I once lived my life. I recognize that I did some things I probably, regret if I was willing to say it to my own self, and I don't want to do that again, and so I'm vigilant. And then P stands for prioritization. I prioritize what I buy. And then the N, RSVP plus N, the N is for networks. Social networks grew at exactly the same time as the recession did, interestingly enough. And the one thing that's true today that was never true before is we're using these social networks to help us navigate the world where we buy things. The RSVP plus, RSVP part of it. And that's the difference. Social networks are not just a part of our life, they are our life. It's the way we figure out what to buy and how to relate to each other. It's a new world. And in fact, in some ways, it's a brand new world.
We're never going back.
We're never going back, I'm afraid.
Thanks so much for coming today. We really enjoyed it.
You're welcome.